Okay, so hello there again. That will be another one of those 2-in-1 videos. As I've just been busy, it's hard for me to make one video at a time because even though I'm back home in Toronto, I still have a lot of work to do, and I have 3 sides. Oh, first game, Penguins lose 3-0 to the Vancouver Canucks, who are suddenly one of the top teams in the league again this year. And put your hand up if you saw that coming, because I certainly didn't. I didn't think that they'd be as bad as last year because that was just a nightmare. Tortorella was not the right fit at all. But I definitely do not think that they'd be one of the top teams in the league. And teams tend to do better with new coaches because of the honeymoon thing and all that. I saw Patrick Wall last year, associating with Mike Johnston this year. But yeah. So that's very surprising. The Sedins look like the Sedins again. Anyways, so Penguins lose that game. They just don't play well. It's just not a good effort all around. Thomas Greiss played well except for his one flurry mishap on the power play, which was bad. And that was the Penguins' 5th shorthanded goal that they allowed this season, which ties Edmonton for the worst in the league. Despite the fact they still have the number 1 power play, you can't be giving up shorthanded goals like that. And this has been an issue that's dated back to last season since the playoffs when Dan was coaching. And even though it's a lot of different players on the power play and a new coach, the same thing is still coming up. And it's really worrying. That could maybe stem from having Malkin on the point, though he's been not on the point lately for the past couple games because of injuries. I don't know what it is. Could just be because they pass the puck so much. They possess it so much, they're bound to turn it over because when you have it, you're bound to turn it over. But also, you have to be responsible with the puck too. I mean, you're on the power play. There's no way you should be letting 4 people score on you when you have 5. And, a lot of it too is speed. Like, Tyler Bozak burning Letang, the game against Toronto. Like, Letang should beat Bozak to that puck every time. Like, Bozak's fast, but Letang's one of the fastest in the league. There's no way Bozak should be beating him like that, It's just smart decisions like that. That's a really, really worrying trend. Shorthanded goals that I hope the Penguins would look to reverse. Because, it's definitely not something that you want to see from a top power play in the league. And their power play was over. The penalty kill, very good. But overall, they lose 3-0. And the Islanders briefly overtake them for the Metropolitan lead. But all is well. Next game, Islanders blow a 3-0 lead. St. Louis comes back and wins 6-4 with Marty Brodeur getting the win. And as a result, he gets like $100,000 in bonuses for that win. His first ever win for the Blues. And the Penguins win 3-2 against Ottawa in regulation because Ottawa cannot seem to hold a lead. And we go into the game tonight, again wearing our 3rd jerseys with many questions left still to be answered. One of which those questions include Sidney Crosby. Is he okay? What's going on? Is he hurt? Well, we know he's not hurt. We know he did miss some time due to illness, so he could still be feeling a bit under the weather. He finally snapped his 4-game pointless drought, which was the longest of his career in like 5 years. And that pass to Ehrhoff on the game-winning goal was beautiful. Perfect Sidney Crosby pass, tape to tape, and Ehrhoff literally had time to write a novel and score. Like, what were the players doing in that play? Erik Karlsson, nowhere near to be found. He's all the way in the corner, looking at Nick Spalling or whoever, and Ehrhoff is just there all alone in the slot. Bing, he's going to get that every time. Like, it was a beautiful shot in Craig Anderson. Didn't really have a chance, and that play was all Crosby. And that was his 1 assist in the game, an important assist it was. And can we just talk about Malkin? How unreal does he look right now? Crosby is 2nd in the league with 34 points. Sagan has 35. We all know that won't last. He's no way he's going to be producing at this rate, and he's going to get 65 goals. It just won't happen. Crosby's in a bit of a slump right now. His shooting percentage is the lowest it's ever been. He missed the empty net. For some reason, he never scores an empty net. I don't know what it is, but, if you can get a dryer out there, just replace it with a net, he'll probably get it every time. But I don't know, he can't hit the empty net for some reason. It's very strange that he can't hit the empty net. But he can't. So shooting percentage is very low. He hasn't scored since like November. And he's on pace for like 28 goals. I'm not worried. Okay, people are like, oh, what's wrong with Crosby? He's hurt. He's not stepping it up. He's playing with different line mates every game. Maybe if he didn't have Nick Spalling with Sidney Crosby on his line, he would actually produce, because while he is Sidney Crosby, he is not a god. He is not a miracle worker. He cannot make a bad player like Nick Spalling turn into a good player overnight. When you're putting him with players who are playing way above a role that they deserve to play, it's going to take a toll on him. Yes, I know he played with Kunitz and Dupuis, who one can argue are not top-line players, but at least Kunitz and Dupuis have some sort of skill. They work well with Crosby. They know how to play with Crosby. Nick Spalling has never played with him before. He has no business playing. He's shown no signs of having any chemistry with Crosby. They've not worked out. It's not working. Why would you keep him on that line? I know they've been winning for the most part, but that's mainly because of Evgeny Gino Malkin, who has been on an absolute tear right now, and he's the MVP for the Penguins thus far during this torrid stretch, because they now have Hornquist out again, probably concussion, the team's not saying, don't know why. Only Mata again is not playing tonight, news that he's hurt. They have a rookie in Brian Dumoulin in the back end, who's actually better than Bertuzzo, who will be making his debut. Back from a suspension. No Letang, which hurts your power play, yet he's still leading the league in power play goals. You don't have Kunitz. You don't have Dupuis. Like, this is Malkin leading a team of, like, AHLers, him and Crosby, basically. And Malkin is stepping up to the plate. He is producing. He's only 2 points behind Crosby for the team lead and for second in the league. I expect him to have another big game tonight, as I would expect Crosby to have a big game tonight, because despite him not scoring, it's not like he's played bad. He's maybe had like 1 or 2 bad games all year. He's had his chances. He's like the last game, he held the puck there for about 15-20 seconds at one point during Ottawa. You know, he's just getting unlucky. He's not scoring. He's hitting posts. He's getting unlucky. He's playing with chumps on his line. It's, you know, I would put Crosby and Malkin together. Dan Bosma tried that in the playoffs. It got Crosby going. It worked a bit. Why not put the two-headed monster together? Roll with it. See what you have. As you're really only top 6 forwards left at this point anyways. So, I'm not worried. He'll come back and he'll be fine. He'll lead the lead and probably win the heart as per usual. When Crosby and Malkin are going like this, though, it is so fun to watch. I don't think there's really... there isn't a better 1-2 punch in the league. In terms of down the middle. And in terms of 2 better players who are more important to their team, there's none, you know? Like, if they did not have Crosby and Malkin, they would be like Columbus right now, because Columbus has all these injuries, and look at how badly they're doing, despite having Ryan Johansson. They would probably be in the same situation. So, they're playing great right now. I'm excited to see them again tonight in the 3rd jerseys against the Rangers. I hope Oli Mata and Patrick Hornquist are not out soon, because I'm telling you, man, this team is cursed. This team is cursed. Oh, yes, and the trade. I thought Clint Kemper looked very good in his Penguins debut. Very, it was a nice pickup for them, and he can really play anywhere for a lineup from the 2nd line to 4th line, which I think is awesome. And one final thing, I saw the best tweet by Dave Lozo on Twitter the last game. You should follow him if you don't follow him. He's a fantastic follow. He used to write for NHL.com, and I write for Bleacher Report. And he said, this game feels like what it would be like if Crosby and Malkin randomly showed up to your beer league game. Because that's essentially what it was. It was a whole bunch of HL players, no names from Ottawa, and Crosby and Malkin just wrecking and destroying, with the power play finally getting on the board with that Malkin goal. So, yeah, it's fun to watch. It's real fun to watch. I just wish this team wasn't so cursed. So that's all for this one. Please like if you liked this video, subscribe if you really like it, share with all your friends, tell everyone. I'll see you next time. Oh, one last thing. Today it would have been Brendan Burke's 26th birthday. Don't know if you know who Brendan Burke is. If you don't, you should. He is the late brother of Patrick Burke, who is works for the Department of Player Safety in the NHL. He's the guy who sounds like Brian Burke in the videos. Who's the son of Brian Burke, president of Calgary Flames. And Brendan Burke was the guy who inspired the You Can Play initiative, which helps promote and support gay athletes in sports, which Patrick started in Brendan's name. And he was a gay athlete who was tragically killed in a car accident 5 years ago. So today would have been his 26th birthday. So our wishes go out to the family as we think of him on this day. And you should definitely check out ESPN article written by John Bucci-Gross about it. It's on his Twitter feed, at Bucci-Gross. Was written in 2009, just after he came out. Yeah, so anyways, that's all for this one, really, and I'll see you after the next game. Woo, let's go Penguins!